Hello everybody and welcome to Young Productions. My name is Tyler Young and today we're going to be talking about how to turn your Raspberry Pi into a complete home entertainment system in under 20 minutes. So let's go. Now since you're watching this video, I'm going to automatically assume that you probably have everything you need, but just in case I'm going to go over the things we need to carry out this project. Now first you're going to need a Raspberry Pi, preferably a Raspberry Pi 3 with integrated Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. This is going to prevent you from having to buy adapters down the road to carry out this project and to make everything work because Wi-Fi is a need in this project. Now you're also going to need a power supply for the Raspberry Pi. Just make sure that it's one that fits and that will work appropriately. You'll also need a case for the Raspberry Pi, that way dust and any other things doesn't get into it. And you'll also need a SD card, preferably over 16 gigs, just to store everything that we need. So starting off from our computer, we want to get into our computer and we want to go to our web browser and we want to go to www.raspberrypi.org/download/noobs. The easier way would either be to Google noobs or to follow the link in the description. So we want to scroll down a little bit to find noobs offline and network install. And we want to download that zip file. It'll take just a little bit of time to download, but it'll be a folder similar to this one here. Alright, so let's plug the SD card into the computer. Now the first thing we want to do is make sure that it's formatted properly. So we want to go to our Spotlight search and we want to type in disk utility. And usually it'll come up if you hit disk. Now if you're in a Windows machine, you want to go to the File Explorer, find the SD drive, and then right click on it and click Format to do this same thing. So you want to make sure that you find the disk. This one's named U. It may be named, SanDisk or whatever the creator of yours is. Be sure not to format your hard drive. In most cases it won't let you, but you don't want to do that. So we want to just click Erase. Now on the Windows computer, it'll come up a screen, and under this format you want to change it to MS-DOS FAT. On the Windows screen I think it's just called FAT. It's usually set at NTFS or Windows NT file system. We're going to name it whatever we want. Let's name it Pi in this case. Make sure that FAT is selected and click Erase. It's going to unmount the disk, and then it's going to remount the disk, and it's ready to go. Okay, so now we want to place that noobs folder that we downloaded onto the SD card. So we want to open up that folder, wherever it may be on your machine. And then on a Mac machine, we want to open up a new Finder window. On a Windows machine, it'll be Explorer, and then we want to pull up the SD card. Now at this point, there should be nothing on the SD card, and make sure of that. So to copy all these files over, rather than copying just this file like so, we don't want to do that because it'll miss the contents. We want to open it up, and we want to select everything in here without missing anything. And we want to drag it over. And depending on how fast your machine is, it may take a little bit of time to do. It's 1.5 gigs, so in general it won't take that long to do. Okay, so everything is copied over, so at this point we can just eject the SD card and we can put it out. Now we're ready to put it in our Raspberry Pi. Okay, so now that we've inserted the SD card into the Raspberry Pi, we want to make sure that it boots up. If it does not, you might want to go back and repeat the video steps. You're going to get screens similar to this one. Now we want to plug in a USB keyboard just for the input device before we install it. After that, we can use our phone over the network. So with our keyboard plugged in, we want to go down and select LibreELEC_RPI2. That's going to install the graphic user interface to use for our entertainment system. If you did the Raspbian Jessie here, it's going to install like a computer operating system. So we want to go down and then we want to hit spacebar. And then to install, we just hit I. It'll say, hey, I'm going to install this and everything will be overwritten. Do you agree? You just click yes. And it'll take just a little bit to install. Okay, so after about 2 minutes, you'll get a screen that says that operating systems have installed correctly. We'll just hit enter and the system's going to reboot. You should get the LibreELEC logo and then the Kodi logo. And there is your graphic user interface. Now within your first boot, you're going to get this graphic user interface that's telling you, hey, I want to set this up. So let's go ahead and connect to Wi-Fi. I'm going to connect to my Wi-Fi here. Enter your password and then hit OK. It's going to say, okay, I'm connected. Let's click next. We'll skip the majority of this now. You can go back and change your settings later. Now in the event you want to use your iPhone or your Android as a remote, we're going to need to get the IP address of your Kodi. So what we want to do is we want to scroll up to Settings. we want to go into our system information, and your IP address will be the second one down. Now you want to write that down because we want to get our remote set up from our phone or our tablet or other device. Okay, so now from our iPhone, we want to go to our App Store, and then we want to search for Kodi Remote. There's the logo there, so we just want to click download on it. We're going to wait on it to download. Let's see where it's putting it. There it is. It'll take just a minute to install. So let's click on that. Now let's add our host. So we just click add host. If you have any sort of firewall in your router, you want to be sure to disable that. All we have to do is type in the IP address that was listed into the system settings on your Kodi. It'll be something similar to the one I'm putting in here. We're going to click Find Kodi. It's already found it, so we just click Select. There it is there, so let's click on it. Okay, so we want to enable TCP connection on Kodi, and it is stable. You'll wait for the green light. Then let's click Remote Control. Okay, so let's now install Exodus, and that's probably what you've come to this video to do. So from our home interface screen, we want to go to the Settings tab. We want to go to our File Manager, and then we're going to want to add a source. Now you can do this all from your remote or from a keyboard. And then what we're going to do is where it says None, we want to click that. And then we have to type in this link exactly how it is. That link is http://cypher cypher-media media.com/repo/. Then you just can name it repo and hit OK. Okay, now from our home screen, we want to go to the add-ons window. We want to hit enter or the select button on the remote. We want to go up to the box logo, or it looks kind of like the Dropbox logo. Hit enter on that. Install from zip file. Now that repo should show up there. We'll just click on that. It'll be repository.cypresslocker and then the version number. We'll just click OK on that. And then it's going to install that repository into the Raspberry Pi Kodi. Now back on the add-on screen, we want to go to Install from Repository. Click Enter. It'll be Cypress Locker. Click Enter. And then if you want to install Exodus, it's Video Add-ons. Enter. And then we're going to scroll down to Exodus. And then press Enter. And then press Enter to install. And it'll take just a minute to install. It's going to download. Now while that's installing, another great add-on to add is YouTube. Of course, we don't want to forget about that, so let's click Enter on that. And let's install YouTube on your version as well. Now it comes with Kodi, so we'll just go ahead and install it that way. It'll be faster and more secure. Okay, now after all that's installed, you should be able to go to your add-on screens, and there's Exodus and YouTube for your enjoyment. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and God bless.